All right, so if we're looking at our first one, it says in the number written in exponential form, identify the base. So let's just ask you between these two numbers, which one would be our base? So in this situation, what's our base? 8. So you just kind of double click on that box and then you'll type in 8. And if you go into the second one, this one is asking to identify the exponent. So which one's our exponent? 6. So again, double click on your box and type in 6. That's the same thing for 3 and 4. Let's move on to 5. So it says write the equation using exponents. So when it says to write the equation using exponents, that just means put it in exponential form, which is where you have your base and your exponent. So if I were to put this in exponential form, how would I be doing that? Huh? 4 to the third. Yeah, I wonder if there's a way you can do exponents on this. Actually, I have a way that we can do it. So we put our 4, and then y'all, if you shift and do the number 6, you see how it looks like that? Looks like a little arrow pointing up. That's another way, like, of typing out exponents. So that's just saying 4 to the third power. I had students doing that last year. If we didn't have a way of actually making it look like an exponent, that's a different way to do that, all right? So you just got to do Shift 6. Shift 6 for that little arrow pointing up, and that'll mean that that's your exponent, all right? All right, same concept for 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, 10. Let's see, how far does that go down? All right, all the way down to 11. I cut out exponent number, or the card exponents number 12. So this one says 13, but it's actually slide 12. So write this in expanded form. Do y'all remember what expanded form is?
Mm-hmm.
Which way is our expanded form?
Like the couple of letters,
Like this?
2 times 2 times 2 times.
Yeah. So this is called our expanded form. So if I did 9 to the third power in expanded form, how would I do that? Yeah, you're multiplying 9 out 3 times. I wish there was a dot on here. Do a Shift 8. I don't want to use the X's. I hate that they use the X's. Do Shift 8 for that little star. That'll be our dot. Since we're trying to get out of the habit of using X's for multiplication, just use Shift 8 for that little star for multiplication.
Why do they keep us to use X's for multiplication in elementary school? We don't want to do that anymore.
I don't know. Probably just because that's the basic thing to do in elementary. But then when you start getting the actual algebra, that's not the thing anymore. All right, so that's the same concept for slides 13 through 19. So if you go to 21 or slide 20, but it says exponents number 21. All right, so write in standard form. Yes. Shift 8. So what is standard form? Do y'all remember standard form?
Just you like figure out what
You work it out and get your answer. So this is where you actually got to work them out and get your answer. So we've got 4 to the 5th power. So this one we're actually going to do some math on. Let's do a little bit easier one. How about 6? Go to the next slide. How about 6 to the 2nd power? So that gives us 36 because that 2 is telling us that we've got 2 6's being multiplied out. So 6 times 6, which gives us 36. That's the same concept up to slide 27. So if you go to slide 28. So this one, you're comparing, so you're telling me which one would be greater than or less than, or if they would end up being equal. And here's your pieces that you'll get to move. So if I have 8 to the ninth power and 8 to the fifth power, do you think these would be equal? No. One of these is going to be greater than the other, right? So which one's going to be greater than? 8 to the ninth power. So grab your greater than sign, which is that alligator mouth that's open towards the left. Just drag it over into the middle. I don't know if you all remember greater than or less than signs. Did y'all do those in elementary school any? Okay. So that one's your greater than, this is your less than. That's the same thing for the rest of those. All right, there's only 3 more that are like this. But that is what you're doing on these. All right. And if y'all end up having any questions still, raise your hand and I'll come to you, or you can bring your computer up to me, whichever. All right. Okay.